Match day 5 in La Liga EA Sports brought us the game between Real Sociedad and Real Madrid. The home side were looking to pick up their first win at home of the campaign. Real Madrid were looking for their first win on their travels away from the Santiago Bernabeu. It was a special game at the Real Arena as former Real Sociedad player as well as a local artist after he retired, Eduardo Chillida, was remembered ahead of the game, celebrating 100 years of his birth. His son, Luis Chillida, took the honorary kickoff ahead of the game. Real Sociedad, to celebrate the occasion, were also wearing a special shirt on the day, all in blue, mostly at the front. And Sergio Gomez had the first chance of the game in said shirt, a long-range free kick, forcing a save and the first corner of the matchup out of Thibaut Courtois. Real Madrid had made 3 changes to the side that beat Real Betis last time out before the international break. 2 coming in midfield due to injury. Tchouaméni and Ceballos are unavailable with knocks. Meant that Güler and Modric came into the 11. But it was Mbappe causing havoc down the right-hand side here that would force a save out of Remiro. Doing well there to try and get round Javi Lopez. Real Sociedad were, in their defence, a constant threat throughout the first half, especially one of their summer signings in Nayef Aguerd. He was making his debut at centre-back, coming close with that corner. Sergio Gomez, another one of those summer arrivals, but has featured a lot more this term. Was making runs deep from midfield, but here unable to get on the end of the pass from Take Kubo. It was a good ball then into space by Brahim Diaz for Kylian Mbappe. Big chance for Real Madrid in the first half, but it was a chance that came at a price, as in that move, Brahim Diaz would pick up an injury. But here we see the brilliant reaction save from Remiro. His first serious call into action of the night. One of the main talking points ahead of the game was the fact that Brahim Diaz was starting ahead of Rodrigo, who had taken the headlines ahead of this game in the days prior, mentioning how he feels he needs to be more important at the club. And yet his manager reacted by starting him on the bench, but midway through the first half, he had to come on for his injured teammate. Real Madrid were finding it difficult to play out from the back. On this occasion, Rudiger handing the ball away straight to the home side, and it was Luka Sučić who would rattle the crossbar on his first start for the club, having only played a few minutes as a substitute on the opening day of the season. But Courtois was nowhere near to it, had the ball have gone just a little bit lower under the bar. Vini Jr. was obviously starting off the left, and despite this shot from Valverde, it would actually turn out to be a free kick on the Brazilian. A yellow card as well for Jon Aramburu, who was starting at right back for Real Sociedad. From that set piece, Remiro pulled off one of the saves of the weekend as he denied Antonio Rudiger. Lovely ball in from Luka Modric. And Rudiger's header on target, just carried away by Remiro. Real Sociedad were a constant threat as well from set pieces themselves. But on this occasion, Jon Aramburu was only able to hit that one high and wide of the goal. Many eyes were on Ori Óskarsson, who was looking to make his home debut. The Iceland international. The striker waiting on the bench because it was Umar Sadiq and Sheraldo Becker who were leading the line for the hosts. And on this occasion, Becker tried to do his best impression of Luka 𝐒𝐻𝐿 from earlier on in the first half, as he hit the crossbar as well. Rodrigo would then pick out Mbappe here, who single-handedly would find enough space in the box to go for the shot, but he couldn't get enough whip on the ball to beat Remiro and break the deadlock. A very tough evening overall for Yon Aramburu, having to constantly face either Vini Jr. or Kylian Mbappe down that side of the pitch. There was another late chance for Real Sociedad towards the end of the first half. 𝐒𝐻𝐿's effort was blocked, and so too was Take. Good reactions as 𝐒𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐵 tried to get on the end of the first ball, but all he could do was collide with Thibaut Courtois. Not a bad ball at all though from Javi Lopez. But we see here 𝐒𝐻𝐿 onto his left foot and able to finish off the chance, and Kubo really just had a lash at it, and it ricocheted off Tony Rudiger. Images now of the second half, and it took Real Sociedad only 30 seconds of the second half to have a clear-cut effort, but it was 𝐒𝐻𝐿 again denied by the woodwork, this time the post rather than the crossbar, after a good return ball from Umar Sadiq. Small details really costing La Real dearly. Militao had the first chance of the second period for the visitors. A good corner in from Modric, but the Brazilian only able to send that one straight into the hands of Remiro. The first talking point of the game was here, as Arda Güler went for this shot from the edge of the box, and his effort came off Sergio Gomez. The referee instantly gave a penalty decision for handball, and it is fair to say that it is quite a clear decision. Sergio Gomez quite distraught at the end of the game, as it was his mistake that led to a penalty that was scored by Vini Jr. Remiro got a hand to the ball, but could not keep the effort out. And Vinicius Jr. adding another goal to his tally for this season. Both have come from the penalty spot, as he scored against Las Palmas earlier on in the campaign. Solid penalty nonetheless. Remiro will feel, though, he should have done a bit better, or at least show a stronger hand to that one. Aguerd would then force a corner out of Thibaut Courtois. It's only a precaution, really, from the Belgian shot stopper, as the header, at least from this angle, seemed like it was going well and truly over the bar. You could just see him in shot there. Oscarson had come on at that point in the second half, making his home debut in La Liga, replacing Umar Sadiq. But it was Aguerd again who had another chance. A lovely ball in, though, from the right from Yon Aramburu. Just lacking the finish, though, from the Moroccan defender, signing for Real Sociedad on loan from West Ham United. Vini Jr. always looked dangerous trying to run down the flank for Real Madrid, and here, despite giving the ball away, he was actually fouled by Yon Aramburu. Initially, the referee didn't give a penalty, but it was then checked by VAR, and a spot kick was awarded to the visitors. Vini scored the first, but it was Mbappe who took the second. He who scored a brace in Real Madrid's last game, a 2-0 victory at home against Betis. One of those from the spot. Goal number 3 now in Spanish football for Mbappe, as he put this game to bed with 15 minutes left to play at the Real Arena. Both penalties going the same side of Alex Remiro. Unfortunately for Real Sociedad, Javi Lopez had to be replaced late on into the game with a muscular injury. And Ian Munoz would come on in his place. Just coming, sadly for him, naturally in that tussle with Carvajal and Rodrigo. Javi Lopez, who was actually one of the 4 players who came into the starting 11 as part of those changes made by Imanol Alguacil. Ian Munoz returning after a long time out with a long injury back at the Real Arena on the turf. Barnechea had also come on as a second-half substitute, and his cross here was almost met by Óskarsson. But the Iceland international could not make contact with the ball. In the final minutes, Luka Modric tried to go for the spectacular to try and make it 3-0, but it was a solid save from Remiro to parry the ball away to keep it at just 2-0. But it did mean that Real Sociedad were closing in on their 3rd consecutive home defeat of the season, 4th if you count their last home win last season. A poor record for them, as the final score at the Real Arena was 2-0 to Real Madrid.